friends, aspirants, fellow SahajaYogis, SahajaYoginis, I welcome you on this very auspicious occasion of the visit of Sri Mataji to the city of Bengaluru, and on this more auspicious occasion of us having consented to come here and speak to you. It is 7 o'clock now. We have waited for half an hour, expecting that due to various reasons, traffic, hurdles, perhaps there. It is a pity that our experience in South India, both at Madras and also at Bengaluru, has been the audience response, in spite of our best endurance, has not been encouraging. Sri Mataji respected Europe, particularly to Russia. After the tour of Russia, she came down to Bengaluru, where we had annual international seminar. You will be surprised. SahajaYogi from Russia has come down all the way to attend the seminar. At just instance, in Tabula, a remote village in the Bengaluru district of Maharashtra, and most of the devotees realization. Due to our long history, tradition of our addiction to get a total transformation of the personality of the individual who is awakened. The divine awakening within himself chases away things which are not divine. If you are intellectual liar, you stop lying. Slowly you are able to feel that it is a thing which you have to give up. If you are a drunkard, slowly the habit of drinking gets out of you. But I was attending a meeting in Madras. Sri Mataji, after her lecture, called for questions. One of the questions asked by a very intelligent speaker from the audience is, Mother, this energy is lying dormant in the sacred bone area according to you. That is dormant and that is God given. It has opened up your Atma. You get your Atma Sakshatkar. You are aware that you are the body and you have a witness within you, which is the Atma. And the divine is acting within you. And you get yourself into the godly position. You try to become a transformed, better individual. You can see the transformation in yourself, and others also can see the transformation in you. The second stage is after the initial experience. The rising of the Kundalini up to the Sahasrara Chakra, then descends, spreads through all your organs, and balances any imbalance in the cellular organ. So, if there are any ailments, chronic or otherwise,
at the very outset, we have to know that through each process, we cannot organize, we We cannot change it. We cannot order it. We have to accept as it is. The truth is that this whole universe is guided, organized by a very subtle power that we call in Sanskrit language as Paramchaitanya, or as they call it as in Quran, or as fully used in the Bible. In those days of science, for a modern man, it's too much to accept that there could be something like a subtle energy which organizes. Logically, we can reach up to a point to understand so many things which have no answer in time. But beyond that, beyond the intellect, if you can reach into another great truth about yourself, that is, if you become the spirit, if you get the Atma Sakshatkar, then you can feel that nothing, energy, on you, you get it on your hands. Also, as a result of this power, the residual power of Kundalini, which is like this cord, which rises here through 6 centers, passes through your positive bone area. You can also feel the cool breeze coming out of your own head. This is the ultimate goal of our human life. To know the absolute truth, not the religion. What we know is the religion. Unless this happens takes place within us, whatever we know is so relative that one person may not agree with another person. In one family, there will be discussion. But once we reach to this stage of self-realization, there is no difference at all in understanding the absolute truth. This is a very ancient science of our country. In the West, I would say the civilization has grown like a tree. But the roots are here in the Orient. And these roots are like the knowledge of nourishment for the tree. If you allow the tree to grow without finding out its roots and the nourishment for it, it's definite that such a tree will happen. Get completely destroyed. To understand that what I am saying is the truth, you have to have a scientific attitude to it. A scientist has to have an open mind to see for himself that whatever I am saying, if it is true, then one has to accept. First, this is like a hypothesis. And if this hypothesis can be proved, then as honesty to yourself, because this is for the benevolence of the individual, of the society, of the country, and the whole of the human humanity. Because when this happening takes place, the transformation of the personality, complete transformation. It's very amazing. It's so fantastic that people cannot believe that one can be transformed. What's possible? Like a take a television set to a religious person of healing, he says that it's just a box. But if you put that connected to the main, then you find it's fantastic. In the same way, a human being is a tremendous powerful personality within himself, and the power is that of love and compassion. We have never used the power of love. We have only used the power of hatred so far. Once a person gets transformed, he becomes dynamic, very dynamic, relaxed, becomes like a big festival. And all that is described about things, you can see all that working out within him. I think by analyzing and by not understanding his mental capacities, we have been giving up the idea of God Almighty and His thoughts. The something. Just for a short time, I think some class of thought, of whatever is done, that is just done. And unless and until we find the eternal within us, we are not going to be satisfied. We are not going to be happy. I don't know what Mr. Mukherjee spoke about, but the first thing that happens when this Kundalini rises is that you get physical fitness. Your sicknesses are cured. Because all our sickness, mental or physical, comes from the disturbances in the chakra, in the sense, in the subtle sense, which are partly in our spinal column and partly in our brain. If these centers can be put right and recognized by the awakening of the Kundalini, then you feel the well-being of your health, also your mental capacity. I can tell you many things that can happen. We have known many children who are supposed to be very dull in the classes. They took first class first, they got scholarships, they are doing very well. On the mental side, there are many people who suffer from epilepsy and diseases of that mind, also madness, lunacy, schizophrenia, they are doing good. There's a doctor in Delhi who has got now his MD, where he has shown that epilepsy can be cured through surgery. There are 3 doctors who have got MD. And surprisingly, when we went to Russia, we saw our papers, and amazingly, immediately that SahajaYoga as an independent organization. This is the only organization which is independent in Russia. I must say, they have no conditioning of any kind. In our country, we have conditioning of man-made religions. Most of these religions have nothing to do with the people who really believe it. They have nothing to do with the incarnation, nothing to do with the process, and nothing to do with the saints. On the contrary, all the saints incarnation and prophets have been taught by the same people who today are saying that they are in charge of things. After seeing the mess that the religions are, actually, we take to keep things up, we start saying there's no God. The religion is within ourselves. The religion is our balance. Life is a matter, there are only up to 8 balances. In the human being, there are 10 balances. And once these 10 balances get disturbed, you fall into trouble and you start deteriorating in your head and also in moral balance. So to re-establish yourself, you have to have this last job or breakthrough in your evolution from human awareness to this of what we call as the collective consciousness, which is just felt on your fingertips. In the evolution of human systems to follow. In any case, I will be very happy if you can ask me some questions today, so I will know what are the problems that are facing your mind for some time, and then we will have the self-realization after that. First thing, it should not be difficult. Everybody is capable of having self-realization. Everyone can get self-realization. So nobody should feel any way diffident about it. If you want, you can ask me some questions. I want to give some time for that. If you people can come forward, it will be better, because it's better we talk. You just see if you can come forward, it will be better.
Mataji, I would like to know how to awaken the human.
That's that I will do. That I will do. It's for change. It's like sprouting of the seed. This is a living process. It's a living process. Through a living process, we have become human beings from Omega state. And to go higher also is a living process. It just acts spontaneously. First I awaken your Kundalini, just must be done. And then you can awaken the Kundalini. It's very simple. Very good question.
Mataji, the Veda is the result of the deep meditation of our ancient sages in Ratambara Prajna. And your SahajaYoga Samadhi also deals with this. And what is your experience parallel to Veda on these lines?
You see, Vedas, I would say there were 3 movements in our country in those days. One was on the side of Vedas, where the first standard is written that if by reading and doing all these Vedas, if you do not get your self-realization, it is of no use. So in the same way, in those days there were 3 systems. One was people were trying to exploit or to find out the way to use the matter. And that's how the Vedas started, to awaken the Vedas to spiritual forms. And that is what the Vedas do. And the another side is, and that's there, the outcome of it is science. The another side is the one where we have bhakti. People used to do bhakti and emotional, they used to go emotionally about calling God. The central part was for actually redemption and for awakening the Kundalini, which was done by mostly the Nagpas, like Machindranath, Gorakhnath, Abhinath, these people did it. Moreover, also you must have heard that Janaka, the father of Sita, gave realization to one Nachiketa, only one person. So at that time there were very few flowers on the tree of life. And that's why very few people got realization. First of all, they are busy cleansing the material side of it through the base, cleansing it and awakening. The other side was they tried to bring their emotional side to the seed, the blessing. But the awakening of the Kundalini was done in very few cases, and very few people got realization in those cases. Now the time has come that I feel there's a blossom time, and many people can get that knowledge. So the difference between the SahajaYoga that was born a long time back and today is this, that in those days they had to cleanse, like the Yamaniyama and all that cleanse all the body, and out of that they used to select one person. And they were said that they had to be born again and again, come back again and again, cleansing. It was done periodically in different lines, and that's how they got realization, one person here and there. But in SahajaYoga, there are two things which we have been able to manage. Firstly, you can give arm master. When Kundalini can be awakened and it can get to your body bone area. But in that little light, you start seeing yourself. As I said that there's a snake in your hand. You're standing in the dark and somebody tells you there's a snake in your hand, you may say that it's not, it's a rope. But if there's a little light, you can see that it will just drop. So the cleansing is done by you. Nobody else has to do the cleansing first. The second thing is that you yourself get all the powers of awakening the Kundalini. You get all the knowledge about Kundalini. So you can rectify. We can say that as this is a jet age, we also have to have a jet Kundalini and tend to go back. So it has grown up to that. My contribution to this is this that I wanted to find out that Ama's way of giving realization to people. Because one person is after Sakshatkar, one person is the same without it. Moreover, any discovery, say the discovery of electricity, if it was meant for one or two persons, it was never accepted nor recognized. So the time has come for this Ama's education, and this is working out through this modern study. So in no way we are studying Vedas or the bhakti part of it. But the essence of it, the goal of it, was to receive Atma Sakshatkara, which is achieved through surgery. So we can say this is the culmination of all this in modern times.
Mataji, how one could realize that Kundalini has been awakened?
That is what I was doing. That point should be very happy to hear that. That's the real sadhana answering the question. May God bless you.
All aspects I have got one doubt. I want to get it clear. Now some school of thought, they believe that the Kundalini can be raised from the Sushumna through the spinal cord, from the back of the body. Now what we see in this picture is right from the Muladhara and up to the Sahasrara in the front portion. So what is the difference of that Kundalini initiation and here?
It is on the back. It is in the chart out to the back, so it is that. It is on the back. Of course, to the Sushumna Nadi is the Brahma Nadi. Sushumna also has got inside a very Sushumna Nadi called Brahma Nadi. Through that, only few threads of Kundalini rises first. And then it starts opening the chakra and then more threads. So it is not in the front.
Veda deals with the three aspects, as you said. That is karma, and bhakti and jnana. Jnana is the highest what Shankara proposed. And it has been accepted. So for to acquire jnana, no karma, no action is necessary. Here, this is also mental action. How do you reconcile this?
No. There is nothing to be done. Who told you? Sit down. Don't be aggressive. Just try to understand. Jnana is something that is sitting on your central nervous system. First of all, is both. Alright? Now, you don't have to do anything. Did I say that? It is spontaneous. It's a living process. You don't have to do anything. If you have to do anything, then it is not. Don't have to do anything. Only thing, once you get your realization, you have to know where are your centers, what is your problem, how to correct it. That is to settle it. Because first you give a connection, suppose, and if it is loose, then you should know how to make it proper. Because as it is, human beings have problems, and the Kundalini knows, because she is your individual one. Every person has his own Kundalini, and every Kundalini has recorded what that person is like. And that Kundalini knows each and everything about it. So when she rises all over. But then again she settles back into the places where you have problems. So you must know how to fix it. That's all. What made you think that you have to do something? You don't have to. You can't even pay for it. You can't do it. It may work, it may not work. There's no guarantee. It may work, it may not work. In some people it does not work. In some people it works immediately. So it has to do also with the punya, also with your inner being. Supposing you have some sickness, you have some mental problems, you have some terrible conditioning, then it may not work, but we have to give it a chance. Like if there's a bad seed, it may not sprout. There may be a seed which is not properly planted. Something like that may happen, but most of the people do get rid.
Direct connection could be conflict with what we
That is not the cause, by the way. You see, whatever you have eaten or whatever you have done is all right. Whatever you have done in the past, you have to forget. You have to be in the present. First thing you must do is to forgive yourself. And not to think what wrong you have done, what wrong things you have done, or you are a sinner and all that nonsense. You don't have to think about it. You must know that everybody can get realized. There is no problem. Only thing is just, if you start thinking about your past and blaming yourself and feeling guilty, then it's difficult. Then you can't sit and get here. Very difficult to raise your Kundalini. So to raise your Kundalini, you have to know one thing, that you are a human being and it is your right. It is one right to get this Abhisasana. There's nothing to bother about just now about food. You see, after realization you will know what sort of a person you are, and then accordingly you have to adjust yourself. Supposing you are a right-sided person, then you have to take more of carbohydrates. If you are a left-sided person, then you have to take more of protein. It depends on what sort of a personality you are. Because I told you it's science. So first, you have to know what sort of a personality you are, and accordingly you should eat.
once the Kundalini center is risen, will it come down again? Suppose we are practicing meditation every day. It has come to a certain stage. Now, I stop meditation for the next 1 week or 1 month. Will it come down or will it stay the same thing?
It depends on you. I said the Kundalini Shakti rises. No doubt, it has to be fixed. But sometimes, you see, in the beginning, as like a little sapling, it may die out if you do not look after it. In the same way, in the beginning, you have to be little careful, must know everything about it, respect it, and if you establish it, it doesn't. Now, as we have seen, Mr. Murthy came to Bombay for his sickness. He was sick. His wife was sick. And that's how he came. He got well, he got self-realization. He came to Madras. He started giving realization to people they had never seen. All their Kundalinis are all right, it's working out. But some people, even after coming to SahajaYoga, do not pay so much attention to it. And sometimes may lose the chance. So you have to be very careful that within 7 days you can fix yourself. But some people never lose, it's just that. Suppose if somebody has a liver problem, then the Kundalini will go to the liver, to the artery first. And then to rise it, to make her back in her own position, you must know how to do it. That's a very simple technique which you can work it out, for which you don't have to bring this knowledge is absolutely critical.
Can you come forward, please? Can you come forward?
It's a very big order, so we can't hear properly any echoes in it. Yeah, can you?
Through Kundalini awakening, people can be cured. How is it that incarnation has been known to suffer from disease?
No incarnation at all.
Even Ramakrishna and Raman Maharshi and all,
Even Ramakrishna and Raman Maharshi were not incarnations, and they didn't have mother to tell them. That's the problem. Otherwise, they could have cured themselves. You see, somebody has to tell them also. So they suffered enough, like this, especially Raman Maharshi. But nobody was there to tell them. As soon as you catch on anything, immediately you know as a surgeon. That's why I say you have to be a surgeon. So you have the full knowledge of the system. Alright? Most of the ordination, I think. It just stand little away from it. Because it is loose.
How do we feel after Sahaja? Say by completely absorbing ourselves in meditation for some time and by forgetting everything and keeping everything inside. Shall we come to know that after Sahaja is taking place?
Alright. Well, how will you know? That's a good idea. Which is it? I'll see. When you get your Atma Sakshatkara, first thing happens that you feel the cool thing coming out of your head. Then you feel completely Nirvichar. First is Nirvichar Samadhi they start. Then you feel the cool thing in your hand, all over. You can feel the cool. This is the beginning. Sometimes you do feel it weak because there's liver problem, other diseases, then you might feel it weak. But after some time you start feeling the cool. Then you must use. By using this, you will be satisfied that you have got this power.
One may go to Samadhi and have bliss, but that is not the answer. You see, Veda declares Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam. These are the doctrines of Veda. Satya is eternity. Jnana is knowledge. Anantam is endless. This is your state. When this is the state, in a state of Samadhi, one will have a little amount of bliss while in Samadhi. When he comes back, he will have to undergo the prarabdha. So he has to.
Alright, it seems you have read too much, but not felt it. That's why. But now I'll tell you the prarabdha and your karma. All these things can be sucked in by Kundalini. She is so powerful. How she sucks in, that there's the Agya Chakra. You see that? This Agya Chakra, tomorrow I was going to explain all these things. But today if you want to know, I'll tell you. That on the left hand side is the Iranadi. The right hand side is the Pingala. Iranadi is the power of our desire and caters to our subconscious and collective subconscious. The right side is the Pingala, which caters to our supraconscious and collects the future. Now, left side is the one which is the Ichha, is the power of desire. And the another one, that's the Pingala, is the one, is the Kriya. So when you are doing something and you feel you are doing it, then that ego accumulates and forms an institution as you see there on your side. Here all the conditioning to samskara also forms another institution which we call as super ego, but you can say mana. So we have two. On one side is the super ego, another is the ego. They cross each other at Ajna. When the Kundalini rises, then she stuck these two things. By which your prarabdha, your karma are stuck. It actually happens because when these two are joined, the spontaneous bone area becomes calcified. But when the Kundalini rises, they open out like this. The limbic area is in between this discovery. So it opens out like that, and when it pierces through, then you get your self-realization. But it cannot pierce through unless self-deception. Itself is quite a lot in the first beginning, but later on it goes on sucking more and more. So you become egoless, and all your prarabdha and karma are sucked. That's the work of Kundalini. She does it. It's not a question of how much you have read. It's a question of experience. You must experience. You know, even Shankaracharya, he was such a great soul. And how even Mr. Sharma got after me by discussion, so that he had written such a nice treatise of Viveka Suramani, which he gave it up. And he just wrote Saundarya because he knew that discussion leads nowhere. There is no tarka. You have to experience. By tarka you are not going to reach there. You can only reach there through experience. So humbly one should ask for that. By tarka you cannot. Logic can go up to a point because it is very linear. It moves only one direction and it again comes down. It's rationality, not logic. It's rationality because logic could be supported by wisdom. But it's just rationality. So one has to understand that whatever you have read has to be proved. Otherwise, what use of reading everything? Like Nana has said, Kahe Nana, Sapina, Apa Koje Vijay Namapika. Nana says that unless you find out yourself, the illusion will not go. So they go on reading. Now it's like you have got a headache and you have to take an asana. So you go on reading, take an asana. By that your headache is not going to go. You have to do it. You have to get it. The experience has to be. Unless you have the experience, it's just stop. And that has been quite good. So, by only understanding mentally, you do not work it. Everything that you have learned now, through your books, can only be actualized if you have your self-realization. Otherwise, it's not. You must know all the things. They never went to university, they never read any Vedas, nothing. Like Gyaneshwar at the age of 23 years, wrote not only Gyaneshwar, but a great book called Amrutama. Having a true life of that, you cannot. It's so only an Atma-Sakshatkari can understand the beauty. And that is the level, it's very different from the normal level of intelligence, reading or anything. Or even Atma. Like Namadeva, who was just a tailor. He never went to any university or anything. And he went to meet another sage called Gorakumar, who was just a Kumar means a potter. And he was busy making some clay. With his feet he was just trying to make some clay ready for his work. When Namadeva went and saw him, he said, Nirgunachariti Alokapana. Meaning, I came to see the Nirguna, the Nirakara. And here I see him Saguna. Only Atma-Sakshatkari can appreciate another Atma-Sakshatkari. We cannot understand because we are not yet in that. Only a person who has felt this, experienced this Paramachaitanya can make out of it. Otherwise we are all blind. And that's why Kabira has said, Kaise samajahu sab jaga anna. How can I explain the whole world is blind? It's a fact. That's why they killed so many people, tortured so many people, crucified so many. They couldn't see. It's all ignorance. And we have to get out of the ignorance, the light, to the truth, and not just to the words. It is beyond this.
Kindly teach us the yoga today.
Yeah, she is going to tell you.
And
Next, realization, whether you will teach.
very kind. This is a real sadhana. Who doesn't Who doesn't argue? Nothing. He wants his realization. That is the sign of a sadhaka. Otherwise, you go on shifting from one to another on your thoughts. Because of your thoughts, you have to go beyond the extreme. And it's for your benevolence, for the benevolence of the whole world, and one must experience. So many people have written so many things, so many people have gone into discussion. There have been 500 tikas called Tika. But we understand it as very, from the way other people understand, is absolutely absurd. Some things are so absurd that surprisingly how people do not see what Krishna wants. It's very surprising. So for that, your inner eyes have to be open, your inner understanding has to be open. Your brain has to receive its excellence in others. The excellence is only possible if you have Kundalini right, otherwise not possible.
You have spoken of experience. The experience that we undergo in 3 states every day. That is the common experience of everyone, all the audience here. So waking state, dream state and deep sleep state. In deep state, what happens we do not know. Only in the morning when we get up, we will reconcile such and such a thing has happened. We will be under the bliss. So in the 2 states, the former 2 states, we will be in the state of duality. All this. So that is the Saguna function. Nirguna functions only in the deep sleep state. Even then, in that avidya functions in Bijavastha. So,
but this is all avidya. What you are talking is real avidya. I am talking about Vijna, right? So, I will give you the Vidya. That's the point. You must ask for Vidya and not avidya. Suradasati sabi avidya durakaro mandala. Sudas says this after writing the whole of Sutta. This is the situation of his life. But if I am saying so, why not accept? Why not accept? Supposing I say there is a diamond, absolutely free available. Will it stop coming to that? Even people from Australia will fly. But if I am saying it is available to you, why not have it? I mean, I can't understand. I know it looks fantastic. It looks something you cannot imagine. But it's all predicted. It's all predicted. It has to happen. This is in Kali Yuga. This is the time when people are in dharma, in illusion. This is the time it is going to happen. It's all predicted. If you have read Naladama Vyakhyana, one Nala was caught by the curse of the Kali, and he was so angry with Kali because he had to give up his wife and all that. So he fought for us one day, Kali, and asked him that it's better that I kill you so that you do not put people into illusion and trouble. So Kali said, all right, if you want to kill me, then kill me. But you listen to my Mahatma, my importance. What is my importance? So what is your importance? He said, those people today who are trying to find in Girikandara, in the valleys and in the mountains, one day will be born as households. And at the time when Kali Yuga will come, they will find the reality. But this is just, you can say, the mythology. But also in Narada, which you have read by Kundalini, you have clearly, even the dates are so clearly. There's one gentleman from your Bengaluru itself, his name was Sundar, who has translated and brought it to such an up-to-date state. If you also see William Blake, he has also said the same thing. And he has absolutely predicted the world. There's one who has talked about it. Even the Ravindranath Tagore has talked about it. So, I mean, if you see to the prophecies also, it is to be done now, and it is done. There are 40 nations who are following SahajaYoga. Only unfortunate part is that in Bengaluru, I am from Bengaluru, that's all. But there are now other places like Hyderabad and all that, lots of people who are following SahajaYoga. In Bombay there are 18 centers, there are 14,000 people who are following SahajaYoga. In Delhi there are 12,000 people following. In Noida there are 14,000 people following. So it's not something that is not happening. And they don't have to pay. They don't have to spend anything. Little time has to be given. That's all. About 5 minutes in the morning and 10 minutes in the evening, and you start Shastra. It has to be. It has to be served. Otherwise, in this modern times, when we have no time for anything, how is this work? And it has to work out in modern times. So how do you work? You must see if it works out or not. If it does not, you must come to the center and see what. So please understand that it is for your benevolence. I don't need service. You need service. I have come all the way from India to give you service. So now, if you could understand what is SahajaYoga is, it's for your benevolence, it's for your good. So why not do it? As a mother, I would say, I've done the simple. If you are hungry, you say, all right, mother, let me answer. But if you are not hungry, you'll ask me from where did you get this, from where did you buy that, what did you get it for. But if you are hungry, you say, all right, let me have it. So all the audience is not at the same time. Because they ask me, how do you get it?
Mother, as I understood, Mother, as I understood, this Kundalini Shakti is raised by our meditation. Now, why we are doing this meditation is to raise the Kundalini Shakti. What is the purpose of this Kundalini rising is to clean our karma. When the Kundalini Shakti rises from the Mooladhara, when it comes to the various chakras, it cleanses the karmas in those chakras. How does it clean? Like a car wiper going up and down, it cleans. It comes over, let us say, to make Sahasrara water. Now, Mother, I ask you, whether by stopping meditation for some days, will it come down to the Mooladhara? Or will it take work?
You see, you don't need so much why.
No, my point
See,
was...
what I'm trying to say, just now let me raise your student, right? It won't come down normally. But if you are a sick person, it has to attend and get a... You are sick then. You are not sick.
Mother, my point was, the Kundalini rises and cleans a certain portion. Now, those portions, let us come up to the, let us say, up to the Visuddha. They just clean all the other chakras. I fell sick for 1 month.
Then
will it come down?
No,
because it's already cleaned.
No. Then it will not.
The second point is,
No.
our aim is for our Sahaja, our Sahaja. What do you mean by Atma Darshana? Now, Atma Darshana will come only when all our karmas are cleaned. Now, that means...
I tell you what it is that we call it the sprouting of the Kundalini is the beginning of Atma Sakshatra. It's the beginning. A small light comes, see? And then gradually it grows, and then you get into a state which we call as Nirvikalpa Samadhi. If you want, you can call at that time the Atma Sakshatra. It's no question of fighting with the world. No need to fight with the world. Why say Atma Sakshatra? Because in the beginning, the light that comes to you is also of your Atma. So the Sakshatkar starts. See, if you see me from a distance or you see from here, it's the same. Once you come closer, you see me clear. That's all. But to say that it is Atma Sakshatra doesn't mean that it's a full-fledged happen.
If I understood it, the Atma Sakshatra is seeing your own Atma in front of you. Now, what is our Atma? The same as the Parabrahman. So, seeing Parabrahman in front of you is just seeing your own Atma. Now, why do you mean
You don't see your Atma. If you see something, then you are not that. If you see the light, then you are not the light. But you pick up. Your Atma comes, the light of the Atma comes to your Chitta, which I will explain to you tomorrow what happens in Atma Sakshatra. But this is the beginning of Atma Sakshatra.
Now, next point is, we must spend most of our time, precious time in meditation. So, we should not spend our time in the rituals, like a homa or going to the temple, etc. Am I correct?
Yeah. You see, once you enter in the hall, whether you are there or here, you are entered in the hall. Alright. When you come closer and closer, you have a better view. That's different. But once you have entered in the hall, you are entered in the hall. If you have jumped in the sea, you have jumped in the sea. Alright? But how far you have gone with it is a different one. So now I think we can have the realization of oneself, the beginning of the Atma Sakshatkara, which is the Kundalini awakening within us. For that, I have to make humble things to you that you should also know what are the centers you have to cater and how to awaken those centers yourself. So it's very simple, which is a very simple method which I take. So also you can raise your own Kundalini in my presence. Plus you will also know what are the centers you have to look after. It's very, very simple thing you have to do. Nothing strenuous or in any way difficult. It's very simple. So as I told you, you have to take the help of the Mother Earth. So you can take out your shoes, it will help you. Just take out your shoes. Trust the Mother Earth, because she takes away most of our problems. And take out the chappals and shoes and just put it flat. The best thing would be then sit on the ground. If you have to sit cross-legged, better to sit on the ground. Just sit flat. Or put your clothes in. Surprisingly, even sitting on the chin, people get relaxation. The blessing of the modern SahajaYoga. Can you move forward, some of you people? Let them move forward. It's very, it's so easy. I wanted to ask the question because while doing this, sometimes the mind just jumps out. It's better now to quieten your mind. Now, Kundalini is the power of pure desire. As you know, economics says that desire cannot be satisfied, not satiable in general. From one desire to another we fly. So that means these desires that we have are not pure desires. There's only one pure desire. And the pure desire is, whether you know about it or not, whether you are conscious or unconscious about it, is to be one with the divine. Unless and until that happens, you can never be satisfied with whatever you might. So now you have to put your left hand towards me, which is symbolic. This is very symbolic, saying that you want to realize. This is the desire. This is the desire, not the pure desire, the desire that you want yourself. The other hand, as I told you, is just the fear. So we have to use it to give confidence, with our confidence, to nourish ourselves. To nourish our centers on the left hand side, it is very simple. So first we have to know that the Spirit resides in our heart. So put our hands on the heart. The pita of the Spirit is here, on the contrary, pita is the seat. But the Spirit actually resides there in the heart. Now, you must know that you are the Spirit. That's true. But if you are the Spirit, also you are your master, your guru, because your spirit lies. So, when you put your right hand, you have one foot on the left hand, on the upper portion of your upper, on the left hand. This is the center of our guru. Left hand side, upper portion of your upper. So, upper portion of your abdomen, on the big center. Now, this is the principle of your master. This is being created by great saints and great masters, Satsang. Then you have to put your right hand in the low portion of your abdomen, which is the center of Shuddha Vidya, of pure knowledge. Now this Shuddha Vidya, pure knowledge, manifests through your central nervous. You become conscious, once you are aware, once you are central nervous. Then you have to again raise your hand in the upper portion of your abdomen on the left hand side. Then you have to raise your right hand on your heart. Now you have to raise your right hand in the corner of your neck and your shoulder and turn your head forward. Now this is the center which is part of the Kundalini. When people say you have to do this and you have got a kind of a thing, forget the past. Then forgive yourself. Forgive yourself. Absolutely. Turn your head to your right. Now, you have to put your hand on your forehead across and press it on both the sides. And put down your head. Here you press it hard on both sides. This is the center where you have to forgive everything. Now, you have to take this hand on the back side of your head and push back your head. Look upward. And here is the center where you have to ask for forgiveness from the all-pervading power. But you are not to be 50, you are not to count your mistakes. Then you have to stretch your hand and put the center of your palm on top of this confident bone area, which is dark, which was a strong stone in your chest. Just properly put it there and push back your finger and press it hard. Press it hard. Now you have to move your scalp 7 times clockwise. Slowly. Clockwise, don't push your hand, but move the scalp. Vibration. Move the scalp. Push back your finger. This is important. 7 times. Because there are 7 seats of these 7 centers in our plate. That's all we have to do. Now we have to close the eyes. Before closing the eyes, I have to tell you again and again that we have to be pleasantly face focus. We have to be present because we are in the intention of the kingdom of God. And we should not aim for ourselves for anything. We should not feel sorry for anything. But in the present, you are sitting there about to enter into the kingdom of God. So you have to be very pleasantly face focus. Not to feel guilty, not to in any way feel desperate. Everybody is capable of making their life. Some people may not get today, but definitely if some people that all of you will get, and you all can get your Kundalini properly fixed with Atma. No doubt about it. It has worked in thousands of people, so why not it will work in you also? So if you have anything black shadow inside, or something like style on your waist or style on your neck, then you can do it. Or if there are any malas or this, of course, Mangalasutra is not. The rest of it, any malas, Rudraksha or anything like that, please take it. Now put the left hand first. First you should be comfortable and sit in a way that's not slouching, neither very straight, but in a simple. Put the left hand and the right hand, you have to put it on your heart. Now please close your eyes. Now, please close your eyes. And understand what I tell you, please don't open it. Because your attention has to be inside. And that's why, please don't open your eyes. Here, you have to ask me a question. As we ask a computer, we have to ask a question. Very important question. You can call me mother or you can call me Sima. Mother, am I interested? Ask this question 3 times in your heart. Ask this question 3 times in your heart. Mother, am I interested? Now, if you are the spirit, then you are your master also. You are your guru. So now take out your right hand in the upper portion of your abdomen on the left hand side and press it hard on your stomach. Left hand. Press it hard, and here you ask me a question, Mother. Am I my own guru? Mother, am I my own master? Ask this question, teacher. Please put your both feet apart from each other in first 2 minutes. They should not be stopped. Please put them apart. Ask this question now. Mother, am I my own master? Mother, am I my own guru? Ask this question, teacher. Now I stretch your feet. The Shuddha Vidya, or the pure knowledge, cannot be given to you unless and until you want in your own free. I respect it. So, now put your hand in the lower portion of your abdomen and ask by saying, Mother, please give me your knowledge. Please say 6 times. 6 times. If you say 6 times, Mother, please give me your knowledge. 6 times, because the center has got 6 petals. As soon as you say that, your Kundalini starts moving upward. And we have to nourish the upper center with our confidence. Don't doubt. Keep your mind open. Keep your heart open. Don't doubt. Otherwise, Kundalini will not come. Now, raise your right hand in the upper portion of your abdomen on the left hand side. Here, full confidence. You have to say 10 times, Mother, I am my own guru. Mother, I am my own master. This is the potential you're talking about. I have told you at the very outset that the greatest truth is that you are the spirit. You are not this body. You are not this mind. You are not this ego. You are not this emotion. But you are pure spirit. So now place your right hand on your heart. And here, with full confidence, you have to say, "12 times, Mother, I am the Spirit. Mother, I am the Spirit." Please say it first. We have to know that this all-pervading power is the ocean of love, of pleasure, and of joy. It's the ocean of knowledge. But above all, it is the ocean of forgiving. So whatever mistakes we commit, or whatever so-called sins we commit, can be easily resolved by the power of this ocean of forgiveness. So please forgive yourself. Now, with full confidence, put your right hand in the corner of your neck and your shoulder and turn round your head towards the right. Here you have to say, again, full confidence, 16 times. Mother, I am not guilty at all. Please say this. Mother, I am not guilty at all. Please say it. This is the word that we have. And this causes all kinds of problems like mother life, like anxiety. Now, we have to forgive everyone. You might say that it's not easy to forgive. But whether we forgive or don't forgive, you don't do it, you commit. But when you don't forgive, the pain is gone. So now, raise your hand and put it on your forehead across and put down your head as much as you can, up very far. Here you have to say, without asking whom you have to forgive or for what you have to forgive. In general, not how many times it is from your heart. Mother, I forgive everyone. It's a very powerful weapon we have. Get rid of all nonsensical ideas. Take back your hand on the back side of your head and push back your head as much as you can on that line. Here, without feeling guilty, without counting your mistakes and sins, just for your own satisfaction and sake. Oh Paramateka, oh all-pervading power of God. Please forgive me if knowingly or unknowingly I said something or I have done something wrong. Just say it from your heart again. But don't count your mistakes. Don't feel guilty. Now, stretch your hand and put the center of your palm on top of the quadrate bone area, which is the soft bone in your child, which is called as thigh. Now, put down your head on the pelvic. Press it hard. This is important. And push back your feet. Now you must know that again, I cannot give you such relaxation unless you want it in your freedom, as this freedom has been structured for you to get the ultimate freedom. So, you move your hand 7 times clockwise, saying 7 times. Mother, please give me my self-love. Just say 7 times, moving your thigh. Now, sit down. Open your eyes. Put your right hand on freedom. And bend your head. And see for yourself your food being coming out of your thigh. But don't touch it. Keep it away from it and see for yourself. Yes, it is you who are to certify. Nobody is going to certify. Just see it doesn't do this one. Some people might get something it doesn't matter. After some time it will do it. See for yourself. Put your left hand in. And now again put down your hand. And see with your right hand. Some people get it quite far. It's like a big jet of air like that. But that can be moved slowly, limiting what you say. We have no plans, nothing, will not stop. Now, again put the right hand on top. And again put your head down. And see for yourself that the food is coming out of your head. Now, raise your both hands. And ask a question. Is this the full breeze of the Holy Ghost? Is this the full breeze of the all-pervading power? Is this the full breeze of Paramatma? Just ask this question, any one of them, 3 times. Looking upward. Now take down your hands. Now watch me without thinking. This is done. Now those who are present, who is in their hand, or out of their continent area, Please raise closer. So nice to see. This is the experience. Now, how is yoga done? What is this power? You have to come yourself. In any case, you come tomorrow. Those who are respect, you also come tomorrow. All of you will feel, and the answer is clearly what is this power and how it works. May God bless you. Now don't discuss about it. Don't talk about it. Just it's time, because silence is your best in yourself. Enjoy it.